I want you to think about two people. They both live in the same city, same zip code. Their monthly expenses are almost identical. The first person earns $110,000 a year. Their garage has two cars, one they barely drive. Their basement is full of fitness equipment, power tools, and boxes of stuff from 3 apartments ago. Their closet has more clothes than they've worn in 2 years combined. They have a subscription to almost every streaming service, and despite all of it, they've got less than $1,000 in savings. One bad month would put them in serious trouble. The second person earns $48,000. Their apartment is simple: a couch they actually like, a car that gets them where they need to go, a wardrobe they use completely. Nothing in their home is there by accident. They have 8 months of expenses and savings, and they invest every single month without fail. Same cost of living. The person earning less than half has 10 times the financial stability. This isn't about income. It never was. The first person isn't doing anything obviously wrong. No gambling, no addiction, no major financial disasters. They just never stopped to question the things they were buying or the cost of keeping them. The second person figured out something that most people miss entirely. The stuff you own doesn't just cost money when you buy it. It costs money every single day you keep it. And that ongoing cost is what quietly drains people who should, by all accounts, be doing fine. Today, I'm going to break down the rules that explain why some people always seem to have money while others never do. Before we get into the rules, there's one idea you need to understand first because it changes everything else. Every single thing you own has 2 price tags. The first one is what you pay to check out. The second is everything that comes after, and most people never add it up. Think about a jet ski. Purchase price, let's say $12,000. But then there's storage. Most people pay $100 to $200 a month for a spot at a marina or storage facility. That's up to $2,400 a year. Insurance runs another $300 to $500. Maintenance, fuel, registration, easily another $1,000. You're spending $4,000 a year to own something you might take out 8 times in a good summer. Or think about a guest bedroom full of furniture you don't use. That room might represent $400 to $600 a month in rent or mortgage. If nothing in it gets used, you're paying for a storage unit with a nicer door. Then there's the mental cost. Every item in your home occupies a small slice of your attention, whether you realize it or not. Something to clean around, something to insure, something to eventually deal with. Studies have shown that cluttered environments raise stress hormones and reduce the ability to focus. The stuff you've stopped using is still costing you, just in a different currency. And there's opportunity cost. Every dollar sitting in a possession is a dollar not working for you. $20,000 worth of rarely used stuff could be $60,000 or more in 15 years if it were invested instead. The purchase price is just the entry fee. The real cost is everything that follows. Rule 1. Know the cost per use before you buy. Once you understand the true cost of ownership, the next step is applying it before you buy anything. The formula is simple. Total cost divided by realistic uses equals cost per use. That number tells you more than any price tag. A $150 pan used 4 times a week for 5 years costs about 14 cents per use. A $600 stand mixer used twice a year costs $300 per use in the first year alone. This math is brutal on impulse purchases. That $250 air fryer sounds reasonable until you realize you'd have to use it 500 times just to get the cost per use under 50 cents. If you cook with it twice a week, that takes nearly 5 years. On the other hand, a $300 desk chair used 8 hours a day pays for itself quickly. Quality everyday items, a good mattress, a reliable coffee maker, a durable pair of shoes, often make more financial sense than their price suggests. Cost per use doesn't tell you whether to buy something. It tells you whether it's worth it. And that's a question most people never actually ask. Rule 2. Run the replacement test on everything you own. Here's a simple exercise that reveals a lot about your relationship with your stuff. Go through your home, room by room, closet by closet, and ask yourself one question about each item. If this disappeared tomorrow, would I spend money to replace it? Not would you miss it in theory, would you actually go buy another one? Most people find that the honest answer for a large portion of what they own is no. That fondue set from 5 years ago? No. The bread machine that lives in the back of the pantry? No. The dress shirts in the back of the closet from a job they left 3 years ago? No. Those items are taking up physical space, visual space, and mental space without contributing anything to your life. They have negative value. They cost you more to keep than to lose. Once you start being honest about which items pass this test and which ones don't, letting go gets easier. Sell what has value. Donate what doesn't. Discard what's genuinely past its usefulness. What you're left with is a home full of things you'd actually choose to have. That's a different feeling than most people have ever experienced inside their own space. Rule 3. Stop upgrading things that still work. There's a specific pattern that eats through the finances of people who earn decent money. They replace things that work perfectly fine. Laptop runs great, but the new one is thinner. Phone does everything they need, but a new model dropped. Car is completely reliable, but it's 3 years old now. Kitchen looks fine, but they've seen too many renovation videos. None of these are problems. They're just boredom dressed up as necessity. Minimalists draw a clear line. Functional means it still does what it's supposed to do. Not that it's the latest version, not that something better exists, not that they've grown tired of looking at it. Functional means it works. Rule 4. Design your environment for better decisions. Willpower is a limited resource. It gets depleted by stress, by fatigue, by decisions made throughout the day. Anyone relying purely on discipline to control their spending will eventually lose that battle under the right conditions. The alternative is to design your environment so that good decisions happen automatically. On the spending side, remove saved payment info from shopping sites, delete retail apps from your phone, unsubscribe from promotional emails. Set a 48-hour waiting period before any unplanned purchase. Don't browse stores without a specific list. On the saving side, automate transfers to savings and investment accounts on payday. Keep your checking account lean. Set it up so contributions happen before you even see the money. Rule 5. Track what you own. This one sounds strange until you try it. Counting your possessions creates awareness that nothing else does. Choose a category: clothing, kitchen tools, books, whatever makes sense for your life. Count everything in it and write the number down. Most people are surprised. They typically own 2 to 4 times more than they estimate. Once that number is real and visible, it changes how you think about adding to it. You're not buying another book. You're bringing your collection from 94 to 95. The decision feels different. Rule 6. Try before you own. Most purchases follow the same arc: initial excitement, heavy early use, gradual decline, eventual neglect. The item that seemed essential in the store becomes background noise within a few months. Minimalists interrupt this cycle by renting or borrowing before committing to ownership. Want to start cycling seriously? Rent a few times before buying a bike. Interested in home brewing? Try a kit from a friend before investing in equipment. Thinking about a standing desk? Use one at a co-working space for a month before buying. This does 2 things. It tells you whether your interest is real or just novelty. And if the interest is real, it tells you exactly what you need. So when you do buy, you buy the right thing instead of guessing. Rule 7. Calculate the full ecosystem cost. A single major purchase almost never stays a single purchase. Buy a vacation cabin and you're also buying property taxes, maintenance, pest control, occasional repairs, furnishings, and the carrying cost of a second mortgage. You're also implicitly committing to spending most of your vacation time in one place. Buy a riding lawnmower and you need a shed or garage space to store it, fuel, oil, blades, and maintenance. Buy a hot tub and you're signing up for chemicals, electricity costs, covers, cleaning equipment, and eventual repairs. The real cost of any major purchase is the full ecosystem it creates, not just the sticker price. Minimalists calculate this before committing. A $4,000 decision can easily become a $7,000 or $9,000 decision once you account for everything that comes with it. That full number often looks very different than the original one. Rule 8. Set your enough before your income grows. There's a trap that catches people at every income level. They never define what enough actually looks like, so they keep spending more without ever feeling like they've arrived anywhere. Income increases, lifestyle follows. The upgraded lifestyle becomes the new normal. Now it takes another raise just to feel like things are improving. Rule 9. Measure freedom, not net worth. Most people measure financial success by accumulation, what they have, what they own, what they can show for their income. Minimalists measure it differently. They measure it by optionality, what they can choose. Can you take 3 months off without it being a crisis? Can you leave a job that's genuinely bad for you without being trapped by the income? Can you move cities for a relationship or an opportunity? Can you absorb an unexpected expense without it cascading into debt? These are the things real financial security actually buys. Rule 10. Make decluttering a habit, not an event. The most common minimalism mistake is the one-time purge. People spend a weekend clearing everything out, feel great, and then slowly drift back to the same place over the following year or two. By the time they notice, the problem has fully rebuilt itself. The better approach is small, consistent maintenance. A quick look at what came in each week. One category reviewed each month. A general check-in every quarter. This catches accumulation early, before it compounds into something overwhelming. Here's a simple way to start putting this into practice. This week, run the replacement test on one room in your home. Find 10 things you wouldn't actually replace if they were gone. Remove them. Notice how it feels. This month, add a 48-hour rule to every unplanned purchase. Keep a note of what you wanted to buy and whether you still wanted it 2 days later. The pattern you find will tell you a lot. This quarter, count your possessions in the categories that tend to accumulate most for you, whatever those are. Set a real limit based on what you genuinely use. This year, write down what enough looks like across your major spending categories: housing, transportation, clothing. Keep it somewhere visible. Refer to it when you feel the pull to exceed your own standard. The financial impact of these habits doesn't happen all at once. It compounds. Year over year, the gap between your income and your spending grows, and that gap is the only place wealth actually comes from.